This is the BK Lounge Podcast. Welcome to laughs, love, and crazy debates by your two favorite hosts, Burt and Kenny. Join us in talks about military life, relationships, golf life, and so much more. Your new favorite place to come hang out on Sundays. Introducing the BK Lounge Podcast, a Burt's Beat Studios production. And now your hosts, Burt and Kenny.
Hello.
Oh my god.
Is your mic not on?
No, I forgot to turn it on.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I always keep wanting to say happy Sunday, but it's not Sunday. We don't do this on Sundays.
Guess what? It could be whatever day you want it to be.
It's Monday.
It's...
I forgot to take out the trash. Trash to the road was not done this week.
We probably had one bag of trash.
Yeah. I get on a routine and...
Are you disappointed?
I feel like I messed up.
You're disappointed.
I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get the trash out in time.
And you ordered wet dog food.
No, I didn't order wet dog food. I ordered... What's the correct terminology? Kibble?
Sure.
Dry dog food?
The dry stuff.
The dry stuff. And it said it got delivered to our little mailbox at the top of the neighborhood, and I said there's no way the dog food fit in there. Then I go up, open it up, and it's wet canned dog food.
Ugh. Ooh.
We used to feed our Yorkshire Terriers those when I was a kid because they didn't have any teeth.
Yep.
And that stuff stank.
I don't think we can talk about it because I will start heaving.
That's crazy. What are we going to do with it? Should we give it to the dogs for an extra treat?
We can... No. We can donate it.
Okay.
To dogs in need.
The dogs in need.
But we can't do that.
It's just so gross.
Yeah, we can't talk about it.
It's like the fancy feast, but for dogs, where it comes in like the individual little like cups.
That's enough.
Anywho, enough about the dog food. Welcome to episode 7, BK Lounge Podcast. It's not Sunday, it's Monday.
It's Monday, and we're here. We're doing it. We're doing it live.
We hope you had a good Monday. We hope you had a great weekend. We're actually, I think we missed a week last week.
Yeah, we did. We had a lot going on. We had a lot of things happening.
We've been busy, per usual. I feel like that's all we ever say is, oh, we're so busy.
It wasn't a matter of us being busy. I think we had poor planning, and then on top of that, we had poor communication because you were out of town.
Because that Monday is when I got back from Michigan.
Yeah. So you were at Gamers Outreach.
Yep.
At the charity event in Michigan. But yeah, so we missed a week. And we'll kind of dive into all of that stuff and what's been going on. But we're back.
We're back in action.
Last
episode we talked, it was getting a little springy. The pollen was dropping. We were cleaning cars, cleaning garage, cleaning house, cleaning boat. And I feel like we could do all of those things all over again because of how dirty everything is.
Yeah.
Not our house and garage, but our cars.
Yeah.
And definitely the boat. Boat needs a good scrubbing again, but I'm not going to scrub it until pollen is done.
Yeah, I feel like in North Carolina, the pollen never really truly is gone, but...
It's definitely slowing down, but I can't...
It's a different kind of pollen. It looks like it's snowing now.
Yeah. The top of the lake was nasty.
Nasty.
It was like, it literally looked like there was just these giant yellow snowflakes on the top of it. It was so gross. Thankfully, I didn't go in there. Because I wasn't that hot, and the lake was kind of chilly, and it was gross.
Did anybody dip in?
Nope.
Thank goodness. You'd turn into a mutant ninja turtle.
That'd be kind of cool, though.
If you were to turn into a mutant any animal, what would you turn into?
I was really hoping you were going to ask me if I was a superhero, what superhero I'd be, because I instantly know.
Well, can you answer my question first?
If I could be any mutant animal?
Like the Ninja Turtles. Obviously are turtles.
Right.
So if you were to transform into one of them, but a different animal. Yeah.
I'd probably say bald eagle. A mutant bald eagle. Just imagine, because obviously...
Terrible.
Because obviously the Ninja Turtles were like these small little turtles and then became these like man-sized things. Imagine
Yeah.
a bald eagle man-size.
I would turn into a giant salamander.
That's not scary, and nobody would take you seriously fighting crime as a giant salamander.
Yeah, they would. And I'd be orange.
An orange mutated salamander.
Slimy.
Slimy superhero.
No, it's not a superhero.
I mean, the Ninja Turtles were superheroes.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking...
Oh, you're just saying if we mutated?
Mm-hmm.
Why salamander?
I don't know. I think I just have a thing for them recently. I've been saying salamander a lot when I'm not home.
When could you possibly work the word salamander into a normal day-to-day conversation?
I used it as a describing word.
Like, oh, that lunch was very salamander-like.
No. As in, you kind of are looking like a salamander. Or you are a salamander.
Okay.
Salamander. 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 Say it.
Salamander.
Isn't it good?
I mean, I guess it's a neat word to say.
It's a good word. You could use it for anything. You really could.
How else would you use salamander other than describing how someone might look that day?
I'll throw it out there at some point tonight.
You're gonna work it into the monologue tonight?
Yeah, I'll just throw out salamander.
Okay. All right.
Sneak her in, salamander.
Now answer my question. If you could be any superhero, what superhero would you be?
Like something that already exists.
Like
or
something that already exists. Like you're picking a superhero that's had a comic, a movie, a TV show. You become that superhero. What superhero would you be?
The Flash.
The Flash. I wasn't expecting that, and I kind of forgot about old Flash.
Why would you? What would you think I would say?
I don't know. I guess I don't know.
You had no idea?
No, and I guess I wasn't thinking Flash in general.
What would you
Why?
be?
Why Flash?
Be fast as boy.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could do a lot of things with speed.
You could. We wouldn't be late for anything. And we just think we could probably leave.
What would you think I would put you on my back?
Yeah, in a little baby pack.
No. I would not be doing that.
So you wouldn't get me from place to place fast if
How would
you
I
had
do
the
that?
ability. I'd hold on to your back.
I did hold you on my back last night. Oh, that's crazy.
That is gonna make a hell of a TikTok clip.
No, I didn't mean it like that, but like we were in the kitchen. We were in the kitchen and you came up, wrapped your arms around me,
And
and
then
I folded you over
Yeah.
and I thought about
Over the top onto the hardwood.
slamming you down.
That'd be wild. We're gonna pivot from that.
No, you
Yep.
you made it. Oh, you made it very.
No.
You made. See,
No.
you've made.
I didn't make anything.
You've made this not a safe place.
That's not true.
You've made this a very not safe place.
That's not true.
Because you're making inappropriate remarks.
I think you made the inappropriate mark.
I didn't make anything inappropriate. I'm just stating on what I did, but you just like went.
I just think it could be confused on the phrasing.
When you react that way, yes.
Okay.
But if you let me continue in how I was describing it, salamander.
Didn't work that in very
It
well.
did.
You just threw in salamander. You just literally threw in salamander.
Okay, finish what you were saying. What would you be?
I would be Batman.
You are not a Batman.
I'm not. You're right. I'm not Bruce Wayne.
No.
I'm not an orphan.
You don't give Batman.
And you give Flash?
Yeah.
Well, I'd be Batman because I think
Do you think that you're faster than me?
Yes.
You are definitely not faster than me.
Yes, I do.
We're going to go on a foot race tonight when we're done.
Yeah, okay, we're having a foot race after.
Not faster than me.
I'm just saying I think I'd be a great Batman. I would love to be Batman. He has all the cool gadgets. He's just like a normal guy.
You'd wear that belt.
Yeah, I'd wear that skin-tight suit. I'd look good.
You would look ridiculous.
Let's be real here. Batman's really not that shape of his suit. His suit just...
Forms him.
No, his suit exemplifies different areas of him. But he has all the cool gadgets, like...
Yeah.
the cars, the motorcycles, the helicopters, the boats, the planes, I'd be Batman. And he's just a normal guy. I'm just a normal guy.
What a poor statement. I didn't think that you were going to say that. I thought you were going to say like Captain America or something.
No. Captain America is a great one, but I just think Batman is by far the coolest superhero there is.
I wouldn't be a female superhero. I wouldn't.
There's not many.
I wouldn't.
Wonder Woman, Catwoman. Are there others?
I don't know. Mrs. Incredible.
Yeah, the Incredibles, I guess, can be considered superheroes. Yep.
You know, the only thing that's in my brain right now, because we talked about like cartoons, all of the different clips, superheroes. All I can think about is Garfield right now.
Where does Garfield fit into all this?
It's just popped up right in the front part of my brain.
Okay.
Garfield.
Salamander, Garfield. Wet dog food.
Nasty.
Awful.
I don't know. I'm on day 8
Out of
11 of working straight, so I'm kind of funny.
She's in her bewitching hour.
I'm not in my bewitching hour.
Isn't that what they call that when you're like overtired and like
No, you
tee
added
hee
the
ha ha?
B. It's called your witching hour. I also like to call it your funny hour. My sister has a really good funny hour. She becomes the funniest person I've ever met in my life.
She keeps her hands in her pockets. It's weird.
She stands up and she keeps her hands right here, and that's all she does. Weird. Strange woman.
Strange woman. Nice lady, but strange.
Nice, but strange. She's very strange. But yeah. So that is that.
That is a complete and utter sidetrack from what we originally were going to talk about. But we're back on track.
Yeah. Are we?
Yeah.
Okay. We're here. We're back. We're back. We're back.
We're back and we're a week, 8 days.
Yeah.
8 days away from our engagement photos. Have we gotten any more information on those?
She sent me an email, I think in the past like 48 hours, just saying that everything's been confirmed. Our invoice has been processed. But I saw on her social media that she was out of town, so I'm going to give her a day or two and then I'll text her and see what she needs from us or anything.
Because we still don't know where we're doing them yet.
We have no idea where. It'll be like, surprise, shot it.
And we don't know what we're wearing.
That's on us. That's not on her.
Right, no, but I'm saying like we don't know what we're wearing.
Yeah. I was hoping to go shopping a little bit today, but no. I'm not doing that.
Didn't happen, wasn't doing it.
I'm not doing that. I'm really not. But yeah.
How long does it take for those? Like, obviously, it's not like she just takes the photos and like downloads them and sends us to them. Like, she's got to like.
It's like 4 to 6 weeks.
Holy guacamole, Batman!
But it's like.
Yeah, probably like a bajillion photos.
Yeah, and then she selects the ones and then she edits all of them. So we get back, I think, 100 to 150 photos.
That is a lot of photos.
Yay.
Wow.
Yay. But it would be good. I feel like we don't even have that many photos of us.
Not really, no.
People don't know that we're real.
Because we're not ones to be like, oh, we're doing something like we go out to dinner, just the two of us, and we're sitting outside by the lake or something. We're not ones like, oh, let's take a photo, or let's take a selfie, or hey, will you take a picture of us? Like, we're not. We pretty much only do it when we're doing when we're going to like events, or it's like a holiday.
Do you like that? Because I feel like you've never been the one to take a picture.
I don't mind.
You never ask, and you never do.
What do you mean?
Like, you never just take a picture. You never just take a picture.
I mean, I feel like when we do things, I'm like, hey, let's make sure we get a picture of us.
No, I don't believe that. But that's how, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm all fine. I enjoy pictures. I have no problem with pictures. Not at all. Not at all.
But yeah, so we have that. I'm a little nervous.
I am too, because I don't know what to expect. I've never done like photos like this. The last thing I can think of is like literally like senior photos.
I get nervous about being weird. I know I'm going to be weird. Like, 'cause I'm weird. Salamander.
What do you mean by the sense of like being weird? Like what she's going to like recommend we do in the photos? Because I know you've already bridged that gap with her.
If I'm looking at you and we're walking around, we're getting pictures, she's recommending and I'm looking at you.
You're just going to be laughing the entire time.
I'll be laughing at you. I'll be like, you look ridiculous.
Oh my God. That's just how you do things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should probably book a haircut this week.
I'm going to book one probably. He isn't open on Friday or on Monday, so I'm going to have to do it Friday this week.
Yeah.
Or what time's our photos on Tuesday?
You don't want fresh photos. You don't want to have a fresh haircut for photos.
No?
No. I feel like that it looks like you're trying hard. You know?
Okay.
There's nothing better than like a couple days after a fresh haircut.
Okay.
That's when I think it looks the best.
Okay. All right. Thursday, Friday this week, I'll book it.
You know what I'm saying to you?
Not really. I just think
When was your last one?
Right before Gamers Outreach. So this week will be 2 weeks.
Yeah, you'll have to probably do it on Friday. Sure. We're figuring it out here. Okay?
We are indeed figuring it out.
We'll figure it out. But yeah. So engagement photos, I have no idea what to expect, but I think it will be funny.
I can imagine we're probably doing them like afternoon to evening kind of thing.
I would assume that, yeah. But like I said, I haven't talked to her in a couple of weeks.
And I'm also excited to see where we're going to be doing them, because I think that'll be kind of fun in itself too.
I have a feeling that we'll be up towards the lake. So yeah. Are you gonna be weird?
How am I? What's an example of like me being weird at the photos?
Looking at me?
Yeah, if she says, "All right, stand this way and look at each other," I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna look at you," or "No, I don't want to look at her." Of course, I'm gonna look at you.
Yeah, but
we're probably gonna have like 5 minutes of like different poses of us just looking at each other.
My biggest fear is she'll be like, okay, like, pick her up and, like, kiss her. I'll be like, yeah, no, that would be so funny to me.
Oh my God.
That would be, like, so funny and weird.
So we're going to have, like, 3 poses. Us standing there and us, like, walking and sitting on a boulder.
Sitting on a boulder?
Yep.
Where do you think that we're going to find this boulder?
I don't know.
No, I don't think that's going to be what it's going to be. I think it will be fine. But if you start acting crazy,
I'm not going to be the one acting crazy. You're going to be the one laughing.
I will not
constantly. And she's going to be like, okay, all right, here we go. And you're just going to be like.
Because anytime we get, like, somebody asks us to do something or we have to be serious, you're like, and I'm like. That's like when we got engaged. I'd be like, you were like, come over here. I'm like,
yeah, you blacked out and got vulgar.
I didn't get that vulgar. You don't need to recap that, right. But
yep, everything's fine.
I don't know what I did. I don't remember.
Good thing it's all on film.
That is true, but we'll be doing it.
We'll be doing it.
Josh said you're unserious.
Me?
You're an unserious guy.
Are you kidding me? I feel like I'm pretty serious. I feel like I'm a businessman, like straight to business, like let's just handle business. I can't believe that, Joss.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
She didn't just call you a fool. She just said unserious. Our brother-in-law is here picking up those golf clubs. That's what that noise is.
Oh, okay. Is he going to yell? and like, or is he like coming in the house? Or
He
is it all in
said
the
that
garage?
you imagine if I just came right up,
He should.
smacked those bad dogs on the butt, and then kissed you on the mouth.
Oh my God.
And I said, don't do that.
That'd be crazy. That'd be another great TikTok clip.
Yep.
And we could label it burglar breaks in during podcast, kisses man on lips, and leaves. Could go viral.
Yeah.
Could go viral.
Could. Definitely could.
But we've got some big news.
We do. We do. Let's start with yours.
You got your big news before I got my big news.
That's not true.
Yeah.
It's not true.
It is.
Whatever. So last Monday I took my final test.
Not just any test, big test.
My big
exam.
My big final
Big,
test.
a culmination of how many years?
5 years.
That big.
5 years.
Proctored with somebody that like she had to show the camera, like the whole room, had to put her like walk her phone over. Like this is big. This is not just like, ooh, I'm taking a Quizlet quiz.
Yeah. I took my final PGA test and I passed and I got elected in to the PGA of America and I'm officially, PGA behind my name.
That's a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
Huge deal. Can you explain to them what the PGA like means in its entirety in a verbiage that non-PGA folks and golfers would understand?
Yeah. So it's not like going and getting a doctorate or anything like that, but like it is like getting a master's degree. So usually after your master's degree, you have the extras that go along with your name that you put on your resume that exemplifies your education that you've had in a direct relation to whatever you're doing with your career and so on. So like people get a PhD, you get a doctorate, you like all of the different things. It is that exact level of education, but in the form of golf. So the PGA of America, if you're a golf professional, you can be a plethora of, different avenues. You could be an instructor, you could be a general manager, you could be, a CFO accountant for a club, you could be a head pro, director of golf, assistant golf professional, a merchandiser. There's so many different jobs that fall under this umbrella of being PGA, but it is it's almost like getting a degree in golf. So it's like I went back to school. And there's 2 ways to do it, and I've talked about it previously before. You can do the PGM, which is a actual 4-year program at a college.
And that's what one of your assistants did, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
One of our assistants graduated in December after a 4-year, got his bachelor's degree in, I think, either business or math with a focus in his main focus was PGM. So when he graduated, he took that same test and got his card after he completed his 4-year college degree.
So let me ask you this, because you obviously never intended on getting into this career field.
Mm-hmm.
If you knew that this is something that you would have wanted to do before college, would you have gotten it through college? Like, would it have made sense to do it with you going to college and wanting to get into the career?
So there's only limited colleges that offer it. So up in New England, I don't even think that they have a college that offers the PGM program. I think possibly your closest one is Penn State, maybe. But I think there's only like 12-ish colleges that offer the PGM program.
Got it.
But yeah, so I would say if that is a route that you want to take, I would say do the 4-year program in school. So the other side of it is you do an associate program, which is what I did, and you work your 40-hour-a-week full-time job. You have to maintain a full-time job to earn those credit hours, and you do all of the school with your actual job. So my 40-plus hour a week.
Her 40-hour a week is usually like 60 to 70 hours.
Right.
A week. and then having to do all of her schooling on top of that.
Right. So that bleeds into then your schoolwork and all of that. So you have to do your assessments, your portfolio, your tests. You have to go to Texas twice, which is your level 2 and your level 3. Your level 1 is actually, you do it now at home. They started doing level 1 at home.
They're like virtual seminars kind of thing?
Yep. It's still the Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:30. But yeah, which it was a lot. They've made it a lot. I wouldn't say they've made it easier, but
Different.
in terms of the work that I did versus what they do now is similar but condensed. They actually complete half of their portfolio with it. They have a 72-hour start, like they're on the clock for 72 hours. So they have to complete it and pass it. They have 3 attempts, and then once that's complete, then they do like actual activities that I did for my whole portfolio.
Got it.
So I wouldn't say that I would say it's easier because I watched 2 of our assistants do it recently while I was in my process, and I was like, yeah, I would do that. I would have been PGA 3 years ago.
How many hours do you think you've like sank into it since you've started? Can't even put a number on it?
I couldn't. And like, I would say the roles that I've played in my jobs have not allowed me to have the bandwidth or...
Well, not even the bandwidth, just the time.
Or the time. Like, I think everybody has time, but like, my days off, the last thing that I wanted to do was do 10 hours on my computer of doing books.
Yeah.
But had a lot of late nights, had a lot of mental stress. I had a lot of incentive that kind of came with the job and getting done my PGA so that I could move into that next role and have all of those ready for me when I did pass, which is bittersweet because the job doesn't change, just the title changes. So it's satisfying, and I'm very proud of myself, but
not a major change day to day.
It's not a major change day to day. It's just something that they needed from me to be able to say that I'm the head golf professional at the facility that I'm at. And not a lot of places, some places don't require it. The place that I'm at requires it, and...
But there's also not many people your age that are head pros, right? Especially at a 36-hole facility.
Yeah. So between my director of golf and myself, we're categorized as young for the roles that we play at our current spot, which I'm very lucky to be doing what I'm doing.
But it's also a testament of how hard you've worked and the things you've accomplished to get there.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they just handed it to you by any means.
Right. So at the end of 2020, going into 2021 is when I started. I actually started when we lived together. So, in VT.
In old Vermont. But a huge deal. Very excited. Very, very excited for Kenny. Very happy.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, the day I got back from Michigan was the day she was taking her test. I was exhausted. So I'm like, I'm just going to nap on the couch. And she was like, okay, I'm going up for my test. Like, I'll be down afterwards. I had passed out, woke up to like a poke on the foot on the couch, and she's just standing there. And I'm like, oh, God. Like, so how'd it go? And she's like, 92. 92 on it.
Yeah. I thought I got like a 68. It's like when you take a big test and you're like, I did so bad. I'm dumb and I have to wait 30 days to take it again.
You would have been so mad. You would have been so mad.
I would have been very mad.
Very, very happy you did it.
Yeah. Very happy I passed. I'm very excited to not have this weight on me anymore. I told my dad, I was like, it's honestly more satisfying than when I graduated college. But
that's a big deal.
Huge deal. It had a lot more weighing on it. Like, you graduate college and then you're like, okay, let me figure out my life. And you're, a 21, 22-year-old kid that, the world's your oyster.
Right.
But, at almost 30 years old and having my career and having my path and having it as a necessity to do the job to, the highest potential, and furthermore, it had a lot of weight with it.
Yeah. And I mean, hell, I noticed it just that day, and still, like, going forward, like, you can tell there's less weight, less worry, less another thing you have to keep chipping away at and doing and getting after. And so, I mean, there were nights where Kenny would be up in her office until like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning working on book work, come to bed, get up for 6 o'clock to be there from 6 to 7 or 8 o'clock at night, come home, eat dinner, go back into her office until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, it was not like oh yeah, I worked, she did a half an hour every month and it took her this long. Like, she's been absolutely busting her hump, and to finally have it, behind her and with a good, passing score and just one less thing on her, on your mind and on your shoulders, that just probably makes, because I think I texted you that next day, I'm like, how does it feel being at work knowing you don't have to come home to it? And you're like, it feels amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot lighter. And to be honest, like, I always felt guilty. Like, I felt guilty, like, if we were to go do something, if we went to dinner, if we went to, my parents' house, or my sister's, or we went to a concert, we went up to our friend's house, like, we went and played golf. Like,
right, like, oh, I should be working on this instead.
Yeah. I felt, like, guilty. Like, I remember for our friend Ben and Sam's wedding, I remember I brought my laptop.
Yeah.
I brought my laptop and I did work. Like, I did book work while I was up there, while you were with everybody and, like, doing stuff for the wedding. I was in our hotel room and I was doing book work.
Right.
And so, like, I don't know, just not even having the weight of the pressure of that, but also being able to, like, be more present in our life is, like, now I get to not worry about that. So it's a smaller percentage of work that is now removed.
Right.
Because it was still tied to what I was doing for my job, where it's like, I brought it home because I had to.
Right, you had no choice.
I had no choice. So, like, being able to cut the ties and being like, I don't have to do this right now. Like, I'm home. I get to be present in our life and, the things that we're doing. And, obviously the past 10 days, week and a half is been a lot with traveling, the things that are going on. I wouldn't even say that we're busy, but, like, we've had a lot of moving pieces. But, like, last night we just had a movie night and got to just disconnect, get dinner, and kind of veg out.
Not have to worry about anything.
And not have to worry about anything.
Yeah, that's huge. Big deal. Mm-hmm. Very, very excited, very, very happy. And it also just opens up more doors for you in the future.
Correct.
So whatever that looks like, wherever you want to go, however you want to do it, you've got that in your pocket to say, I've got it.
Yeah.
And I've got it, and I've done it.
Yeah. But then 24 hours after the fact.
Yeah.
Somebody else,
literally?
Literally 24 hours.
So as most of you know, I've been in the process of a military retirement medically after 14 years. And it has always looked good in the sense of like, oh, it's going to happen. But there was one final piece that needed to kind of get through the wickets and be reviewed and all that kind of stuff. And so when you're retiring early medically, the Department of Defense has to give you a rating. It's a percentage from 0 to 100%. And it pretty much just, somewhere on the scale is, are you able to continue to work for the DoD, help the DoD with your medical issues? It's very different from the VA rating system. Like, I'm 100% rated through the VA. While they take that kind of into consideration, the DoD rating scale is Department of Defense rating scale is much harder and much more stringent in the way that they grade things. And so it was pretty much coming down to this rating, and I needed at least a 30% to retire. And if it was under 30%, I would just be separated and was just kind of cut ties, no benefits, no health care, no retirement status, nothing of that nature. And I finally got the call that the DoD had rated me. I got a 70% rating, which officially puts the stamp of approval of you are officially going to be medically retired from the Air Force, which is huge, and another kind of big weight that is, taken off of my shoulders, our shoulders, knowing that we don't have to worry about healthcare. We get the retiree benefits and the dependent benefits of the military. And so now we're honestly just waiting. I just got an email today letting me know that everything, I pretty much had to sign saying I agree with the rating. I'm not, getting legal representation to fight the rating, and everything is good. So now I'm just waiting for the official date of when I will separate, and now trying to work with my home unit to schedule a retirement and all the out processing and retirement paperwork that's needed, as well as getting a retiree ID, all sorts of stuff that needs to be completed. But it's huge. It was, like I said, everybody I talked to in the process was like, this is something that's going to go extremely well. Like, we're fairly certain. We can't promise anything, obviously, but you're most likely going to be granted an early medical retirement from the Air Force. Just need to go through the process. And I mean, I've been working on this process for what seems like probably close to 2 years now. Probably 2 years at the end of this summer. So going up on 2 years. So to finally kind of get that stamp of approval, like, okay, it's actually happening and most likely will happen within the next, 30 to 45 days, and be able to kind of put that chapter of the life book, behind us and move forward and just be done with it. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of obviously bittersweet because it was a huge part of me, and I've been so disconnected with it over the last year and a half since I've been down here, and with having to go back and kind of say my goodbyes and sign on the dotted line, so many years later, but just now leaving, it's going to be very, very different, probably a little challenging and sad at the same time, but obviously it's for the best for, myself and us, and health-wise, obviously is obviously the number one priority there, but it's exciting. It's finally happening, and now just the planning phase of trying to figure out when we're going to do it, when works best for the wing, because once they do give me a separation date, I only have 15 days from that date, or from the date to actually separate. So it's not like that date doesn't work for us. Like, I'm gonna come up and do it in 2 months. Like, this is your separation date. This is how many days you have. You need to get up there, retire, get your ID, and see you later. But I'm very happy, very excited.
The big things. A lot of big things.
Big things popping.
Proud of us, player.
Yeah,
Bring
player.
it here. Bring it here. Look at us.
Comma PGA, comma retired.
Retired pros.
Retired pros, that's right.
Retired salamanders.
Retired salamanders, working it in any way you can. Any way you can.
Yeah,
I know. But those are some major things that have kind of transpired, really, honestly, in like the last week. Yeah, roughly.
Honestly, it was a big week, and like, we are two people that always continue to move. Like, it's hard to stop in the moment and like take it all in and absorb it and be what it is. Like, you got it, you texted me, I came home that night, we like went about our ways, and like in bed right before we were about to fall asleep. It's like, proud of us. Like yeah. And it's
major life accomplishments in a lot of different ways.
It's things that two things that I would say I'm proud of us both on is the journey of it.
Yeah.
Is obviously like my education, my job, my like the things that I've created for myself have been a roller coaster. Like, I even said to your dad, I was like, everything that I've done pretty much from the moment I signed up for the PGA led to this moment. Yep. And I was like, and it all flashed right before me.
Yeah.
Like, all of it. Like, I remember passing my PAT and you had a Ben & Jerry's ice cream cake in our apartment.
Yep.
And I remember we went to camp that night. It was exciting. Like, that was like the first step of all of it. I remember when I got in my car and I moved to Florida and kind of felt lost and confused and like, what am I doing this for? You know, sticking it out and coming across a lot of great and incredible people in my time and like my career. I've had a lot of great mentors. I've played a lot of great golf courses. I've met a lot of great professionals, done some education, done all of that, and to like be like, okay, I'm on to the next chapter of like this journey for me, but in a whole different light. And then to sit and think about, you know, all in the same breath is during that whole same time, you got deployed, you came home, our lives changed, we disconnected, we reconnected. You went through a lot in terms of, you know, the things that you've dealt with being in the military and, you know, some of the negative side effects and also the emotions that come with, you know, the 14 years that you
Right.
have served and
Right.
your how things have changed from what you thought they were going to be to what they are now, and not just seeing the like sad and dark times of it, but being like, this is what's going to make my life and my quality of life better.
Yeah.
And just watched how it changed you and how you kind of grasp it even in the hardest times for yourself.
Absolutely. It's a lot for both of us. We've dealt with a lot. We've gone through a lot. We've worked a lot at it. And like again, like you mentioned, it flashing before your eyes. Like I remember when I first got down here and this process kind of started. I remember literally helping Grant out, Grant Williams. I was walking around his indoor basketball court. My commander at the time called. He's like, "Hey, these are our options. We can probably separate you ASAP and you get no benefits. You've already got your VA and your VA healthcare. Or I think we can get you approved for medical retirement." He's like, "It's probably going to take at least a year." And at that point, I'm thinking to myself, like, holy crap. A year of this? A year of this? Like, that's a long time. And I didn't know what that looked like. Was I still having to go up to Vermont? Because that wasn't obviously very helpful to me in my situation. And like all these what ifs of just like, God, dog, like, is the the benefits worth it? And then when you stop and take a second of like lifetime benefits for you and your family for a year of possible like roller coaster, like I think it's worth it. And I was like, yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, I just separate and I'm lucky enough to have the VA and the VA healthcare for us, but that next tier is what what I joined the military for and what I found my purpose for after deciding that I'm going to make it a lifelong career of like being able to provide for my family, whether it's, insurance, schooling benefits, like whatever it was, that's what I was working towards. So it's like, why stop now?
Right.
And now it's been over a year. And again, it just, seems like it went by like that when that on that phone call, it was like a whole year. He's like, yeah, it could take longer. And then talking to, people that Jocelyn and I served with, and he was going through it for, almost 2 years, and here we are literally almost 2 years later of like, it's finally happening.
Yeah. It's like you want that immediate
Right.
like reassurance and just being like, I don't want to deal with it
Yeah.
because I've already dealt with enough. Because at this point, it's like you're not going through it just because you're like, oh, I think I want to go a different path. Like,
Right.
especially for people that serve, right?
Right. Because I never had, if you would have told me a day before I deployed that all this stuff was going to happen and you're going to retire early, I would have laughed.
Right.
Would have laughed.
But like where it's taken you or it's taken us on like both of these journeys and like how it all happened at once and how it's all like coming back together. But I feel like we get to finally like turn the next page to the book.
Absolutely.
But like do it together.
Yep.
It's like everything.
Yeah, the timing's kind of actually wild.
Everything that we both have been anticipating and waiting for is finally here.
Yep.
On all scales.
Literally, yeah.
Absolutely. So like there's so much more that we get to plan, do, be excited about, like even just our time. Like our time and our energy has been so consumed by so many different things that we finally get to be present in whatever's happening right now.
Right.
And like we are engaged, and we are like, we have big things that are ahead of us that neither of us have really dove into, because I don't think either of us have had the bandwidth
No.
to.
No, and I mean, thankfully we're both on the same page of like, when those things happen, we're gonna get to them, and
Right.
we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it together.
Right.
But no, I agree. I don't think, we really could plan for a wedding or buying a house or going on, traveling more and doing those things where
Right.
we were, because you had the bookwork, you had that guilt of just going out to dinner, let alone taking, 3 days off or 5 days off to go do something and really enjoy your time and not have that in the back of your head. And same thing with
Right.
the military, like, when an email would come through of like, hey, I need you to fill out these 18 forms and I need you to get it all back with this suspense of, next week. It's just like, holy crap, like I got to put everything aside and just hone in on this. And then it's also a challenge because I'm not at a military installation. I have a, very simple printer. I don't have access to things behind an encryption wall and all sorts of other different things. So it's not as easy. Like if I was on a military base, I just put in my ID card and I'd be able to digitally sign and input everything. And now I'm going between different programs, uploading it to Google Docs and moving it over here to wet sign it, and then moving it over here to be able to edit it. And sometimes I couldn't, so I had to print it out, fill it out, sign it, upload it. Like it's seems silly, but when you're doing that almost weekly with dozens of different forms and trying to keep track, and I've been so disconnected with the military, like some of these forms, I'm like, I don't know what this form is.
Right.
It's very exciting, like you said, we're turning that page. That page is almost, flat on the left side, and now we got that whole other page of a wedding, a house, a family, travel, whatever it is. Like now we can focus on all those things and not have other stuff in the back of our minds.
Right.
Now just worrying about our lives, our family, our job, our day-to-day, like being able to make more time for the things that we want to make more time on.
Yeah.
And now can.
Yeah, absolutely. Big things. But we get to celebrate because we did book ourselves a little vacation. We did it before everything kind of happened, but now it's like a little bit like
even
sweeter.
Absolutely.
So we are going at the end of May for
a good chunk.
Yeah, for almost a full week, 6 days.
Have we gone anywhere for this long?
No. Other than home, no.
Right.
But no, like we booked, I think it was like in the middle of the night, and I was like, do you think we should go on vacation?
Literally, we're laying in bed. It's probably 11:30 at night, and she's like, do you think we should go on vacation? I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like,
yeah, and then I doom scrolled different things and what I was thinking in my brain, and he fell asleep, and I kind of stayed up until like 1 a.m. and I was like, I'm gonna make this happen, because this is something that I feel like would be good to look forward to, and that's kind of exactly what we did.
Yep.
And now we get to go down. We're going down to like South Florida, so we are going to the East Coast, Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, and we're actually gonna drive over to the West Coast, and we got ourselves a Airbnb for a couple of days. Hopefully gonna see some of our friends, or my friends from when I lived down in Southwest Florida for a couple of days, but enjoy Memorial Day down there, and then go back over to the East Coast before we fly out and spend 2 days in Fort Lauderdale.
Yep.
At the Hard Rock, and probably just do some fun stuff, relax.
Do some vegging, relax, celebrate, explore, eat good food. Eat good food. Have an adult drink or two, and just celebrate
maybe rent a boat.
Yep.
Enjoy the Gulf. I don't know. There's a lot of options, but also the fact that the only people that get to decide is us, and it's kind of just an us thing.
And we're not ones to like schedule out every single day. Like we might wake up and be like, let's go rent a boat, or let's go just sit by the pool, or let's go to the beach, or let's go do this, or hey, let's scroll and find something, or we're driving to lunch and be like, oh shoot, that looks cool, let's do it, and just fly by the seat of our pants a little bit. But we booked an Airbnb and we booked a rental car today. So that's exciting. It's how many days? It's less than 30, right? Or no, a little over 30 days.
A little over 30 days. We're a little over a month out, but we will, be down there for an extended stay and kind of get to do whatever we please. And who knows? Who knows what we'll do?
Who knows? You never know.
He's not excited to go on vacation with me.
I'm excited to go on vacation.
He doesn't want to go on vacation because I said I was going to be an orange salamander.
Yeah, salamander. Am I acting like a salamander right now?
No.
No, I'm anti-salamander right now?
Yeah.
Got it.
More of like a slug.
A slug, that's
like
awful.
Like a wet slug with antennas.
Are there dry slugs? I feel like all slugs are wet.
Yeah, but extra wet
Extra
and slimy.
Got it. Nice.
But I'm excited.
I'm also excited. I'm very excited.
He's excited.
I'm excited for our trip.
He's excited. But I don't know. I'm ready for it to be here.
I know.
It'd be fun if it was tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I still got 4 more days of my 11-day stretch.
Yeah.
So
and I have more family in town. We just had family in last week. Now there's more family in this week, which is obviously good. Love to see the family, but it's just everyone's kind of visiting at once, which kind of makes it challenging with work and doing other things and just vegging at times. But
yeah,
it's obviously good to have some family in town. So I think this is the last batch for a hot minute. So
yep,
it'll be good.
Yep.
It'll be good. But that kind of wraps it up. We do have some time if there's any last minute questions for Kenny or I before we get on out of here and go skitter away like salamanders.
They don't skitter.
They skitter.
No, they don't.
How would you describe that?
It's more of like a slide. They're sliding.
Okay. What happened when you got the COVID shot? Did that put you out of the Air Force? It is one of the factors that led to an early medical retirement. I got the COVID vaccine when I was deployed to the Middle East, and at the time, it was a Department of Defense mandate that you will get the COVID vaccine or you'll be discharged from service. And they also told us if you don't get the COVID vaccine, when you come back stateside, you won't be able to do anything on your R&R. So I was like, okay, well, I've been in the sandbox for 8.5 months now. I want to be able to do things when I get home. And you're telling me I'm going to get kicked out if I don't. Okay, great. And unfortunately, gave me a heart condition that is very common with the vaccine that I got in males my age, which was a factor in the medical retirement process and portion and rating and all that fun stuff.
Yep.
All that fun stuff. Any other questions before we get on out of here? And for our Spotify, Apple listeners, again, we do film this live on Twitch, so we are interacting with our live chat audience. That's when you hear us naming names or answering random questions or maybe going off topic. It's with our chatters on Twitch.
Our chatters.
Our chatters.
Our chatterboxes. Joss was hoping that we would go to Texas.
Yeah, I'm hoping that she comes to...
And Renee.
And Renee. Renee said she was going to be in Florida. She's like, oh my God, when are you guys going to Florida? I'm like, oh, it's the end. And she's like, oh, I'm going at the beginning of the month.
Rude.
And guess what? She's going on another cruise. That lady lives on cruise ships. She's going to be the lady that when she retires, she lives on a cruise ship year round.
Does the 6-week cruise?
No, literally lives, buys a cabin on a cruise ship and it's all decorated and she's got her own furniture in there and literally lives on a cruise ship.
That would be absolutely ridiculous, and I would never come and visit. Ever.
I wonder how that works. Hey, I've got friends in town for a week. Do they just, I don't know.
Maybe they give, discounted rooms or something like that.
Yeah. Because I don't think there's obviously, guest rooms. There's no, I don't know. But it looks like that is all she wrote for the BK Lounge podcast. Season 2, Episode 7. We are going to get on out of here on this glorious Monday. See, I almost said it again.
Monday.
On this Monday. On this Monday.
You were just yelling at them.
I'm
and
always
I'll
yelling.
speak softly. Make sure you listen in, and we will be back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That'll put us at Monday, the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you.
May 4th.
Should you do your hair in the cinnamon buns like Princess Leia and I'll dress up as Darth Vader?
Or Yoda.
Maybe Anakin or like Luke?
No.
Yoda.
Yoda.
Yeah, we'll work
Baby
on that.
Yoda.
We'll work on that. But we appreciate everybody tuning in. We hope you have a great rest of your week. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Any last words, Kenneth?
Love ya. Bye.
Y'all be good now. Bye-bye.
This has been the BK Lounge Podcast with Burt and Kenny. We hope you enjoyed your time diving deep in on wild topics, listening to crazy stories, and hanging out with us. We'll see you next week live on Twitch. Be sure to check out our website for all our social links at www.thebkloungepod.com. Y'all be good now, and we'll see you next time.